Welcome back, my friends. 48 hours ago, the chairman of the FOMC, Powell, made threats to the entire crypto market, stating should he deem it necessary, he will raise interest rates on September 19th. Now, I know all you KASPA bulls got an amazing price on your bags, and your game plan, very wisely, is to hodl until the next bull market. In my opinion, KASPA will be in the top 10, if not the top 3. So you guys are going to do extremely well. With my personal account, we are pushing the risk to the maximum. So now when we see KASPA is doing a move on the chart, personally, I'm going to jump on it and take advantage of it. My name's Jesse. I'm a professional poker player and a mathematician. I'm not a financial advisor. We had originally picked up KASPA at 24 halfpennies, and we just recently liquidated 72 hours ago. On top of selling our giant bag, we also opened a 500,000 KASPA short position using leverage. Diving into the KASPA chart, we can see a very clear signal that KASPA was going to start to get bearish. This was all happening in the wee hours of Friday. Now, for those of you night owls, you'll notice that KASPA really gets sold off a lot during the night hours. That the candle finally dipped past the first line of resistance on our angled Fibonacci chart. And it wasn't the red Fibonacci angle. It was actually the low on August 18th when we dropped down to 36 halfpennies. When you put this on the angled trend, this is so key to charting. People are always using these horizontal trend lines. Put the trend line on the angle of the dominant origin trend line that is controlling the candle's movement, like we have set up here on KASPA. And once we did that, we saw the candle pass below it. That was our first signal that things were going to start to get bearish. This red Fibonacci level was not going to hold, and the candle was going to drop all the way down to at least this gray Fibonacci zone, which it has almost made its way all the way down to. Now, the secondary indicator, as you guys know, we've been looking at stochastics and Chainking's oscillator. Now, we can see right here, this was another extremely key signal. Notice these 3 patterns of higher lows here. This is when we were still in the golden pocket and everything was looking honky-dory, like we were going to form the nice handle on the high cup and then make the potential breakout to 9 cents. What happened was we started to invalidate that when this oscillator dipped down and actually started going lower than the secondary dip right here. This was an extremely bearish side, and we can scroll through the 3-hour, the 2-hour. The 1-hour chart is really drawn back. The fuel tank, as we can see, is very much below the baseline. Now, it did, when we were in the golden pocket, look like it was starting to connect and start to move above that baseline, but it was never getting as high above it as it was back here when we were making our previous breakout. And then we just absolutely lost it, and it started to dip back down below and stay below for about 3 or 4 stochastic cycles. Again, this was another very bearish signal, but this here is the most bearish of all the signals. This is our secret weapon. It is known as the X-Axis Fibonacci pitch. Now, we've had this laid out for months on the KASPA chart, and we used it as a secondary indicator to help us pick up KASPA on July 6th when we got that dip down there. As you can see, every single time, without fail, that the candle enters into a new X-axis Fibonacci pitch, it will be met with extreme resistance. We have just entered the second to last Fibonacci level. It has been holding as resistance down this trend line all the way since 52 halfpennies. And right now, we've even dropped as low as the previous contact point on the last level. Scrolling back, we can see in the gray color level, we had another scenario where, again, the candle was very much stuck to this trend line, had a trouble breaking out, and it didn't actually move along until it hit the parallel trend line with where the candle had entered into that Fibonacci zone to begin with. Bringing that model forward to where we are now, the previous lowest contact point on the last Fibonacci level was right here at 32 halfpennies. Of course, bringing this forward, the 32 halfpennies will connect us with the bottom of this angled Fibonacci trend. Another content creator known as Chris Crypto has also found the trend line alone, although he has not put a Fibonacci pitch on it yet. And he also is predicting that the candle will be dropping down to touch off this support level. We've been setting these X-axis up on AVAX and Solana. You can scroll back if you want to check out those older TA videos, and it's been giving us massive insight. So we have other examples of what happens when the candle jumps out of the X-axis Fibonacci pitch with AVAX. Let's take a look. Look what happens as soon as we exited this Fibonacci pitch. By chance, we had the XRP news, and it absolutely sent the candle up rocketing. Call it a coincidence or not, perhaps it's the power of how Fibonacci works. At these two intersecting lines is exactly when Powell's going to come out, and he has the power to wave raising interest rates. Of course, all of these cryptos and stocks have been baking in the bearish price action. This can act like a coiled spring, pull back. So Powell just can simply say, yeah, we're not raising rates, and this should be a very bullish news for crypto, KASPA especially, launching it up forward. And if you think about it, Powell has every incentive to do this because he's looking to create a soft landing. If he raises interest rates September 19th, he could very well start to trigger a lot of downside. If he waits until the next meeting, lets everything bounce up, he'll be able to correct the interest rates from a higher market price point. Doing long, non-leveraged trades is obviously the safest way to play, and KASPA is giving great price action. So we'll be sitting on our haunches waiting for a new buy signal. Of course, the next obvious buy level is once the candle bounces off this gray trend line right here. Almost definitely we will get resistance on this line, and it should be enough to turn the candle around and keep us floating at least until September 19th. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.